So the Amazon Fire Cube does a pretty cool thing now. It aggregates all of your subscriptions. So when you hit the homepage, it tells you what's new. And this movie came up, Apartment 7A, starring the fantastic Julia Garner, right? We love her. She's great in everything. It's a horror movie. It looks like it's a period piece. And all systems are go. And then my mind slowly exploded from a revelation that I realized. Because I didn't watch any trailers. I had no intel of this movie. I didn't even know what it was outside of it being new. And this movie blew me away. So let's get into it for the 31 Days of Dread. Apartment 7A. It's October, and it's time for the 31 Days of Dread. This is where you get one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. That's how much we love horror. That's how much we love Halloween on the Film Buff Podcast. And here's the crazy thing. This is the longest running horror event in all of podcasting. So get ready. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to scare our socks off. And yes, we're going to be grabbing some candy. Maybe some cereal. Let's go. So there's a lot about this movie, my AKAPADers, and welcome back to the show of shows. This is the 31 Days of Dread, and this is the Film Buff Podcast, an annual event. Every single year, we do horror movies for the entire month of October. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm digging the environment, like the setting for the movie. We're in what looks to be New York City. Again, like a lot of the details of this just blew me over, but looks like we're in downtown New York City. Our protagonist, the girl that we're following, she wants to be a Broadway dancer. So we get some of these like musical sequences and musical elements that really call me back to the Cespera remake / masterpiece from a couple years ago. But we see like creepy elements, we see occult elements, and then it occurs to me, like we're getting right into the head exploding moment here. We're in the world of Rosemary's Baby. This movie, so I stopped the movie and I looked it up, and yeah, we're in the world of Rosemary's Baby. This is a direct prequel to Rosemary's Baby, and holy crap, does this butt up perfectly with Rosemary's Baby. I wish I didn't realize it so much because, you know, we kind of know the fate of some of the characters, the ones that we're not familiar with that don't carry over to Rosemary's. So we kind of know something's going to happen with these characters. I don't think they're going to make it through. Hopefully they have a cool death. And we do have some cool deaths. We have some fantastic set pieces. We have a movie that, you know, is right there, like it's 50-50 on how well it feels like a period piece. I'm very critical on how well period pieces come through in modern day cinema. This movie is there. This movie blew me away. Natalie Erika James, this is our director, and this girl, who also was a part of the screenplay, hit it out of the park. For names you're not familiar with, for names that kind of come through the ether, I tried to research her. There's just not a lot there. Can we say this is a premiere movie? Sure. Can we say this is a great horror movie from a premiere movie director, meaning first time out? Yes. This movie is also produced by Michael Bay and Brad Fuller, who, outside of, pun intended, reformatting the Transformers franchise and really putting, I'm sorry, AKAPADers, Michael Bay is the one that put Transformers on the map. They've done one hell of a job with horror franchises as well. The movies that Michael Bay produced, the horror ones, they're all good. They're all watchable. And it's somewhat of a marathon you can put together nowadays. I think this movie, as unexpected as it was, made it a little bit more enjoyable for myself. The presentation and the platform and the overall big idea that this movie came out around Halloween, it dropped. Because it was there, I watched it. I think it's very significant. I think it's significant that we absorb film this way. I think for a early filmmaker for a potential first-time movie. This movie is there. I think as a performance, Julia Garner and some of the other creepy characters around her, some of the biblical characters, we'll call it, some of the priests. Yes, we have a couple good deaths. A lot of the performances are there. So this is what I would call a well-directed movie. Now, which one should you watch first? Like, right, should we just go in order? Should we watch Rosemary's Baby and watch this? Or should we watch this and watch Rosemary's Baby? Here's the thing. In this movie, you get the sense that they've been trying to pull this off for quite some time. We have a little bit of history. We know of other attempts, other names, other individuals who didn't quite take the possession too well, we'll say. So yeah, it's timeline building, it's lore building. I just think this movie's there. This movie is terribly enjoyable, a lot of fun, and I'm not seeing a lot of traction on social media. So again, I'm grateful that we have this audience here for the podcast, for the 31 Days of Dread, to bring light to films like this. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think if you are a fan of Rosemary's Baby, check this movie out. All right, AKAPAD, there's a little bit of a short one. I'm sorry. Hey, sometimes when we don't go into the filmographies and the history of everyone involved, we get shorter episodes. But I just want to share it with you guys. I want to point this one out. Say go watch, go check out Apartment 7A. Available right now on Paramount Plus. AKAPADers, thank you for joining me for another episode of the 31 Days of Dread. We have been dedicated to horror for a long time on this feed, on this podcast. If you guys want to know more about everything we do here, go to AKAPAD.com. From there, you can navigate to the 31 Days of Dread. We have a dedicated landing page that goes through all the years of the 31 Days of Dread, and we also have a directory that jumps you to any movie that we've done. So you can just look up the movie by name, you can go to the directory, it's all alphabetical, and you can just explore. And that's the intent, and that's why we're so into the 31 Days of Dread, because no one's done this. No one has put this much time, this much thought and effort into American horror and international horror, and we love it. Horror is the future of American cinema. Horror right now is holding up American cinema, and I'm so thankful for it. So I'm hoping that you can extend yourself, explore, and continue the conversation. AKAPAD.com. Thanks, guys.